Hi there, we are Compilo and this video is regarding the interview questions that are being asked for Power BI. So another question is, what is the difference between pivot and unpivot? To understand it, let's move to our Power BI desktop, and more specifically we need to move to our Power Query. Okay, so here we have a table where we can see like there are a couple of like steps in this column, and then we have different values: application sent, then called by HR, interview scheduled, and all. Now let's see what happens when we select a pivot of that. Okay, let's move to transform and let let's pivot it. Okay, so values will be in this column, obviously. All right, so you can see here that it just changed the rows into columns, and that's the quick definition of that. It converts rows to columns. All right, now what happens if I unpivot it? So if I unpivot it, it just changes everything, right? And this step gets locked here. So this is the basic like a difference which can be answered in the interviews, that it is just the conversion of rows into columns and vice versa. All right. So next question is, if this is the case, then what is the difference between transform and pivot? So let's see what is that. All right. So we have just seen what basically pivot does. Okay. So let's see what transpose that does. Okay. All right. So here we have already seen that in pivot the this row like came as already as a column, but here this was not the case. So what we have to do is like we have to use first row as headers. All right, so and I think it's same. So are they same, or what is the basic difference in them? So to understand this all this, let's see another table. Okay, I will just remove all these steps from here. Now I am in this table uh, where we can see there are three columns: from, to, and value, right? So let's see what happens when I transpose it. Okay, we can see that there are different columns. I'm not going to use this first row as header as of now, but we can see like it takes the name, then it takes the category, and then it gives the value. Now this is the different way of aggregation. Now let's see. Let me remove this, and let's see what a pivot does. Okay, yeah. So let us see like what a pivot does. Okay, so right. So what is the value column here? So obviously the column with the name value is the value column. So let me check it. And now we can see that the way it has been aggregated is kind of different, right? And it gives the more sense to what we basically want to understand. So this is the basic difference between transform and pivot. Okay. Okay, so let's move to our next question, and it is related versus related table. It is one of the common question, I would say. Again, let's navigate to the blog, which is official blog of Microsoft, and let's see what they write here. So they basically write that related returns are related value from another table. Basically, the most important line here in the definition is this. Let me find it for you. This many to one relationship, right? So what it says is the related function requires that a relationship exists between current table and the table with related information, right? And you specify the column that contains the data that you want, and the function follows an existing many to one relationship. All right, let's see what is there in related table. So now we are in related table DAX expression, and here we can see that it evaluates a table expression in a context modified by the given filters. So what basically it does, it basically returns the table of values, whereas in related what we were getting as return value a single value. So this is the basic difference between both of them. Now, have you used variables in DAX? See, if any one of you have programming background, so you must be aware of the variables which are very common in earlier programming languages like C, C++, and so yes, variables are also available in Power BI, and I have an open example for you. Just 1 minute. So you can see that we have this column name where I am taking this value as a variable and it is returning this value, right? So we can create variables and we can do our changes here, and which can be later used in our upcoming lines. So yes, whenever if you have used such kind of DAX, so obviously you can just answer this question very easily. Now, another popular question is what is the difference between calculate and calculated table? Okay, and let me move back to the official blog. Guys, I am using the official blog because I want you to know the exact meaning, which is basically provided by the Microsoft documentation. It's not something which we explain in random words and like interviewer gets confused. Okay, so what is the difference? So let me start with calculate. So what calculate does is like it evaluates an expression in a modified filter context, and it is one of the common DAX that is being used by Power BI developers. So what we do is we just add some expression here and we specify the filters. Suppose we want to do a sum or average or difference anything, so we can specify that expression here, and we can specify the filters like sum of the values according to the country, whether it is US or India or many any other country. So let's see any example if they have provided here. Yeah, so they are doing a sum of sales amount according to the product color. So that is one of the example. Now let's see what a calculate table does. So basically it evaluates a table expression in a modified filter context, right? Now let me focus on what is written here. Note, there is also the calculate function. It performs exactly the same functionality except it modifies the filter context applied to an expression that returns a scalar value, right? So that means calculate returns the scalar value, but what is the return here in calculate table? So it returns the table of values, right? So this is the basic difference. Now, have you created parameters in Power BI? Okay, let me take one example for you and let's see if I can explain quite well. All right. Now, I have another Power Query open for you, and what I'm going to do is you can see in the Home tab there are many options available, and one of them is manage parameters. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I will just create one parameter. Okay, it will be a new parameter with the name, suppose, let's see, US dollars. Okay, USD. Type, I can just specify any kind of type, but let me use decimal number, and I am going to use a random value of 299.99, right? I mean, I can use any of this, but this is not required as for the time being, and I have created a parameter now. Okay, so this is the parameter. Now what I can do is I can change the values, but where can I use it? You can use it anywhere. This is one of the scenario where I'm going to show it to you. So this is the table where I have savings in US dollars. Now what I'm going to do is I want to filter. Okay, so if I filter something greater than, okay, and in place of this here we can see uh, the values of this column. Okay, I want to change it from parameters. Now I have already created a parameter. So what it will do, it will once I'll just select it, so it will basically filter the values which are greater than 299. Now what if I want to change like filter? So what I can do is so if I use 600 over here, and let us see, I mean, if I get values available for in the range of 583 or not. So obviously values less than 500, sorry 600 uh, got removed from here. So that is how we can use like this is basically the dynamic values that we can pass over here. So this is the what should I say? I mean, this is the basic functionality of filters, and obviously there are many more such functionalities related to parameters, and one of them I'm going to discuss in my next question. So let's move there. Okay, so what is an incremental refresh? So as you have seen over here that there are values. If I check this table, right? So this is the table where we have data for 2019, then 20, then 21. Now, if data is static, that means like data of 2019 and 20 is not going to change. So what is like required generally if we refresh our data? So all the data gets pulled into Power BI service, and then it gets replaced with the existing data. With the incremental refresh functionality, what basically happens is data obviously gets pulled, but the only latest values are replaced, not all the values. The because mostly the previous years do not change in databases, right? So let's navigate to the official blog and what is there. So how to create like incremental refresh. So initially we have to create parameters as we discussed earlier. So we have to start with range start and range end. Then we can filter our data on the date column, and once we filter our data according to date column, then we can use that in incremental refresh in the data pane of Power BI desktop. So if we navigate here and I search it at this place, so if I check, I should be able to get, yeah, incremental refresh option is available. So this is how, I mean, like once you set all this up in Power Query, then once you use in Power BI desktop, so you will be able to do like incremental refresh. Okay, next question is, in which license do we get incremental refresh? To understand it, let's check the official blog from Microsoft. Incremental refresh is generally available and supported in Pro, right? So obviously, there is this is available in Pro also along with Premium. So this is what the blog says in 2020. So obviously there is no specific other requirement in Power BI to use incremental refresh. Yeah. Now somebody may question like can we use in like free version of Power BI? You can obviously use it, but when you like in your local desktop you can obviously set it up, but once you will publish it in Power BI service, so it won't work over there. You will have to have a Power BI Pro license as of now, as per my understanding. If this is wrong, please do comment in comment section of that. uh, okay, so that's it. I mean, these were quite a few interview questions that people generally encounter. So I hope you have found this video quite insightful and helpful. So if you liked it, just subscribe our channel, and you can like this video too. Thank you so much.